Mums with Hustle podcast, episode 536.
Welcome to the Mums with Hustle podcast, where you'll discover everyday mum entrepreneurs killing it in their industry. Learn the secrets you can replicate to create your own success with your host, Tracy Harris.
A decade ago, this was pretty taboo, and now 1 in 3 adults want in. How cool is that? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Tracy Harris. If you are returning, I'm so glad you are here. If you are new, welcome. Hit the subscribe button because episodes come out every single Monday, and you are going to learn how to grow yourself and how to grow your business so that you can have your freedom-filled life. And I want to share something with you this week that I came across just very recently, last week in fact, and it genuinely made my heart so full. A new Intuit QuickBooks report came out on entrepreneurship trends heading into 2026. And the numbers are wild and very exciting. So I'm going to read them to you, and I want you to let these really sink in. 1 in 3 adults in the US say that they plan to start a business or a side hustle in the next 12 months. And if that is happening there, it is safe to say that that is happening in other countries around the world. And I'm definitely seeing a rise in that within my Australian audience, within my audience from Singapore, and around the Asia Pacific, within my European clients. That is a huge jump. So the stat that they've grabbed is just from the US. And just that is a 94% jump from the year before. Now, let's just talk about Australia specifically. There it is 1 in 4 adults that are saying, I want that, to the very same thing. And while the younger generations are actually the loudest about it online, here's something that I want you to hear loud and clear. It is the women that are approaching their 40s and even in their 50s who are quietly building the most sustainable businesses because they have the advantage of wisdom, of life experience, and the clarity that only really comes with time. And I'm going to give you one more statistic. 65% of aspiring founders are saying that they're going to use AI to help launch their businesses in 2026. 65%. Entrepreneurship is now officially the number 1 wealth building strategy heading into 2026. Isn't that the coolest? And, I've been doing this for over a decade. So I have been using entrepreneurship as a wealth building strategy in our wealth building portfolio for over 10 years. But to see that it is on the rise and it is trending makes me so happy because it tells me that so many more people are now aware of this and therefore doing this. Entrepreneurship is outranking saving. It is outranking investing. It is outranking working harder at a traditional job as your means of building wealth in your life. And so I sat with this data for a while before hitting record on this podcast because I remember what it was like over 10 years ago when I started. When I started my community back then, which is called the Mums with Hustle community, and this podcast back in 2015, I was a teacher who had just left the classroom. I had a 1-year-old on my hip and I didn't know it at the time, but in about a year from then, I was going to have another baby. And I was building my business in nap times. I was recording podcasts in 30-degree heat with no air conditioning and a cool cloth on my pregnant belly. I was doing Zoom calls after bedtime, and nobody was talking about mothers building online businesses as a normal thing to do. It was taboo. And now there are so many people talking about it. And I love that, because when I started, mum guilt was the loudest voice in the room. I spent hours, years actually, holding space for women in our community to vocalize the fact that they felt guilt over growing a business at the same time as being connected mothers. And I'd hold this space in my programs and so that we could unpack it together. And we had to start from that place where mum guilt was a thing, and we needed to dismantle those stories that they had inherited about what a good mother was allowed to want and what she was allowed to be. We had to talk about boundaries with spouses who would push back. We had to process the hurt when friends and family didn't get it, or worse, when they actively discouraged or even shamed them for wanting to pivot into having an online business, to rebuild a woman's self-confidence that had quietly been eroded by a society and a culture that just didn't make space for a mother with ambition. And the women that I worked with in those early years were truly brave, because they were doing something that the culture didn't yet have a language for. And now, 10 years later, I'm reading a global report telling me that 1 in 3 adults, women, mothers included, largely in that number, are thinking about starting a business as the smartest financial move that they can actually make. My friends, the narrative has changed. Starting an online business is no longer a strange thing to do. It's no longer, oh, she must be going through a midlife crisis. It's no longer something that needs to be laced with mum guilt. It's no longer taboo. It's not something you have to hide or justify or apologize for. It's just normal, and it's where things are headed even more. It's almost like if you don't have an online offer at this point, what are you even doing? Like, that's the way that it's becoming. And the ripple effect of the shifts are enormous. Women are earning their own money. Women modeling ambition for their daughters. Women buying back their time with better business models. Women homeschooling if they want to, because now it's an option. And they've also created capacity to do that. Women moving countries if they want to. Women building wealth for their families and creating communities that change other women's lives. This is just on the up. And it's what I've been pouring my work into for the past 10 years, but seeing the data finally catch up to what we've been building, it feels like the world is exhaling. But here's the thing that I want you to hear today, and I want you to really listen or write it down. Being on the right trend is not the same as building the right business for you. Because while the demand for online business is exploding, so is the noise. So the women who are going to thrive in 2026 and beyond are not the ones clogging up their calendars and working more. They are the ones with systems that sell. They are the ones with freedom filled offers. They are the ones with $1 million messages. They are the ones with strategies that honor their energy. The ones with offers that are designed to peacefully scale. So what does it mean for you? Specifically for you who is listening to me right now, I'm willing to bet that you are an expert of some kind. You've got expertise. Maybe you're a coach. Maybe you're a practitioner. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're a teacher. And I want to talk to you directly for a moment. If you are a coach, you likely have a methodology that has been getting people results. If you are a practitioner with hands-on expertise, you have likely changed lives. If you are a teacher with a body of knowledge, you have already spent years refining that. If you're an expert in your field with wisdom, just know that people are happy to pay for that. So when I read this data, I'm like, this is about you. This is about my women, because the data is actually telling us that people are going online for everything now, not just to start businesses, but they're going online to learn, to heal, to grow. They're going online to get fit, to get well, to be a better parent, to find their faith again, to navigate midlife, to work on their relationships, to raise their kids differently, to finally take care of themselves. People are going online for all sorts of things. And the online space is no longer just where commerce happens. It's not just about going online so you can go online shopping. It's also a place where transformation happens. People be better, people do better. So whatever you teach, whatever it is that you help people with, whatever wisdom you carry, the people who need you are no longer waiting for an in-person workshop to pop up in their city or a one-on-one slot in your calendar to be available. They are searching online. They are going onto ChatGPT and searching for someone like you. Right now, this is happening for someone exactly like you. And so here's what I want to tell you. You have an online group experience inside of you. And maybe you've been doing this in a one-on-one capacity for a period of time. Maybe you have a methodology that you've refined through every client or every patient or every student or every workshop that you've run so far. You've got so many stories to share. You've got results. You've got wisdom that you have earned the hard way. And right now in this moment, you're likely doing one of three things. You are likely trading hours for dollars in a one-on-one model that has a ceiling and is burning you out or leaving you feeling exhausted and depleted. Or you're undercharging because you can't see how to scale. Or you've been thinking about creating a digital program one day, but you don't really know where to start. Or like so many of the ladies that I speak to, they wonder if, well, they feel like their business is so unique that they couldn't do it in a group setting, but that's just because they haven't learned how to yet. So actually, let me tell you about Selma while I say that. I have an example of someone that's come to mind. So Selma is a psychologist and she specializes in supporting migrants and migrant families. And she was seeing clients one-on-one, but she had this vision in her heart for a group program. And she knew what she wanted to create. She knew that she had something to offer and that there was a need, but she would freeze when it would come to taking the action steps. She'd been in other programs before. She'd invested, she'd tried, and nothing really gave her the clear structure and the momentum that she needed to actually move. And she joined Freedom Filled Business. And, you know, I'll never forget, there's a post of her with her birthday cake celebrating her 39th birthday. And she shares in that she's in her effort, like as in the letter F. I'm not going to swear, but you can imagine the word. She's like, I'm in my F-it era. And if this is what 39 is, bring it on. Because she shared with us that she'd experienced more progress in 3 weeks where she'd created and launched and sold out of her first group program before she even built it. Yep. She launched it, sold it before she even built it, and it sold out. she'd done more in 3 weeks than she had done in 3 years. And I mean, that's 3 years of being stuck, or 3 years of wanting to take action but not knowing how and not being in the right environment. And all of a sudden, she did it because she had the right support to be able to do it. And that's what happens when a woman with real expertise gets clear structure, a proven framework, and the right support to take action, but also the environment of other people that are doing that too. So if you've been the woman with a vision in your head but no path to execute, this is your sign, because the opportunity in front of you right now is enormous. And that's why I got excited about those statistics that I shared with you. The market has never been more ready to learn online. The technology has never been more accessible than it is before. And if used well, AI has made it easier to build so many pieces of your launch or, your funnel. And the cultural permission for women to build and lead and teach and charge premium prices for their expertise, it's never been in a stronger position. So let that encourage you. If you packaged your knowledge into a Freedom Filled membership or into a Freedom Filled course or group program, you could be serving 50 people, 100 people, 300 people in the way that you already serve one person, but you're just doing it at scale. And instead of running yourself into the ground, trying to serve a handful of clients one-on-one, you could be leveraging your time. You could be a better steward of your time. You could wake up to sales while you sleep. It sounds like such a corny cliche, but when you start to know people that are actually doing that, you then begin to go, well, if they can do it, I can do it. You could teach once and serve hundreds of people or thousands of people. You get to buy back your time without losing income. You can turn the wisdom that you already have in your body of work that scales beyond hours that you want to work or are even able to work. That is a freedom-filled opportunity. That is the model. That is the architecture. So I just wanted to share those exciting statistics for you because more people are entering the online space to create online businesses. And what that does is, well, it's going to put a rocket up some people to make their move now. Like, you need to be doing this now. Yesterday would have been great. But if you are serious about building an online group program for what you do, just know that there's more people entering the arena than ever before. And so the time is now, and I want to help you build it in a smart, sustainable, and scalable way so that you are also living your life by design at the same time. And you're creating something that is uniquely you and highly transformative for your people. And it's world-class and it's quality and it's going to be around for years. And you're going to be able to scale it and buy back your time. So I hope that you feel really excited hearing those statistics, and also really grateful for the time that we're in where, it's more common and it's more normal and it's just even culturally approved, not that we ever waited for permission around here, but culturally approved and accepted that a woman can have a business and be ambitious and mother at the same time. Because my boys are 12 and 9 years old right now, and it was not like that when I started. I remember going to so many masterminds and retreats and different seminars and things for people in business. And I was most often the only person in the room that had my stroller with me. I had our pram, or I had our son in a carrier, or I'd breastfeed in breaks, and, there were no facilities for that. And it was just, I literally was often the only one in the room that was a mother at all, let alone a mother with a baby or a mother with babies. And I just see how common it is now. And I love that. So at least any woman starting now, you're starting from a better position. You're starting from a place of hopefully within yourself, not having to first deal with and dismantle the mental chatter of mum guilt. Because society has shifted the way that it views things. And maybe you need to upgrade how you're viewing things. But the stats show 1 in 3 people in the US and 1 in 4 people in Australia are wanting to start an online business. And that is a sign of the times. So let that be your motivator and let that make you do the thing that you've been procrastinating on, or maybe you didn't have the thought to even do that. But this is planting a seed in you now to do that. And if you're interested, go to freedomfilledbusiness.com or check out the show notes for this episode and let yourself explore it. Have a look, get some information and apply. And I'd love to hear from you. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next episode. Women in business, mums doing business their own way. That's what we're about. Less work and more life. Okay? I'll see you in the next episode.